Hello, folks. How we doing? How we doing? And welcome back to another episode of WIP Wednesdays. So Wowwy'z Workshop. Oh yes, folks. I am ready for another one. Are you ready for another one? How are we? How is my? Okay. First things first. I gotta get this straight, man. I'm gonna move it this way. That was the right way, so I just got a little tiny touch back this way. That looks pretty good there, hey guys? Okay. And you can't see my burr line here. That's perfect. How we all doing? Hello. What do we got here? My brother just joined. We got Spike in the house. So is here. Amy Jo has been here since the beginning. I walked in and there's a conversation going on. It was awesome. Grumpy's here. Spike, Tim, Black Widow. The Mod Squad is here. Grumpy's in the house. Urban's Makings is in the house. All the good people are here, folks. Rhinestone Suzanne. The Electric Whittler walks in. Hey, how you doing, Josh? Thank you for coming back, brother. Woo! This is going to be wicked. How's everybody doing? Oh, I'm just looking through my computer here, and I sure see the difference here. I'm bringing it in this way, man. I'll be bringing it in this way. It has to be more. We're going for more symmetry now. It's gone that far. How we all doing, everyone? Jane is here. R.C. Peters is here. Robert, how are you doing, brother? Thank you. Jane says, I finally caught alive. That's awesome. Thank you for coming, sister. I'm stoked. Yes, welcome, Jane. I get so excited when folks come, you know, from Facebook land or wherever they may come from, but folks that, you know, and the Kindred Spirit wood carving group, of course. Oh, it just tickles me. Tickles me pink, as they say. So I hope everybody's doing good. Y'all are doing just freaking amazing in your carvings, and we just had the grand finale for the last challenge for the Kindred Spirits wood carvers, and it was a really fun live. I had a bunch of goofy songs, and it was actually pretty fun. So I used these little pillows of Poppy and Lola and sang a little song, and then I whipped the pillow. Get him out of here. I hope I made a couple people laugh. But yeah, it was really cool. And I was talking to Grumpy about this. Grumpy can back me up. It was so crazy how the prizes went to people that are not only such, loyal and awesome members of the woodworking group, but also subscribers here and part of this family. And I was telling Tim, I'm like, it goes to show about, love manifesting things, And I said, maybe next time I'm going to have to use like a computer random thing or something so that my love ain't involved. Because I swear, the one person that I'm not really, tight with was Mark Kidd. Like we've talked before and stuff. But other than that, it was all you crew, man. Wasn't that amazing? And it wasn't, no matter what anybody might think, there's nothing that's ever set up or nothing. You guys saw how it happened, and it was freaking awesome, man. Amy Jo got the cordless Dremel. Tim Reed got the Marathon micro carver, Grumpy, and a Geordie carving. Robert got the Kutzall burr set with the Geordie carving. Frick, man. It was so cool. Amy Jo just typed, well, your live changed my entire thoughts all around, brother. Well, you know what, sister? How things happen and the timing and stuff. And you know what? I wasn't even, you and I hadn't talked for a bit, so I wasn't in the loop. But my goodness. How things happen, hey? Things that make you go, So yeah, it was frickin', it was awesome. And I can't wait till the next one. I'm pretty sure I can't speak for every admin, and I don't like doing that. I always like having all of us combined in the wolf pack. But I'm pretty sure the next one's going to be in everyone's a winner, babe. That's the truth. Everyone's a winner. Part 2. Who do we got here? Christopher's Creations is in the house. Yes, and Christopher's Creations won Claire's all the way from Paris, coming all the way from Paris. Claire's Sea Dragon. Isn't that crazy, guys? I had chills, man, while I was pulling the names. It was like the love manifested, the karmic happenings. There's all these karmic happenings going on right now in my life and other people's lives too. I'm gotta tell you guys about something. You guys have been following the Kindred Spirits logo. I've been doing it on the lives, so most of you guys are aware. And so I've been reaching out. Urban's Makings has been helped me out in the background. We were talking back because this is top secret stuff, guys. The Kindred Spirits logo and stuff, that's all top secret stuff. Lots of love and time going into that stuff. And because we want to eventually make some really awesome merch and yada yada. But I made a Facebook post pleading for help. And my cousin Aubrey, and I'm really, really close with my cousin Aubrey and her kids. And I like to kind of think I'm like, the cool uncle. They call me uncle, but I'm not. I'm a cousin. Anyways, Aubrey said they're camping right now. The kids are camping right now, but maybe Kale can help you. And Kale is the youngest of the bunch and an amazing artist. And I'm going to get his permission one day and share his YouTube channel. But I'd like to make a video all about Kale and share all of his social media because he has a wicked TikTok and stuff. But she said maybe he can help. He's got an iPad and we know that he's really good at art. So I'm like, cool, run it by him. Well, a journey ensued together. Kale and I talking back and forth. And he took this upon himself and he did the most amazing job digitizing and translating it from the pencil over into the digital. And then we added colors and he shaded it, and you guys, man, I've cried a couple of times the past couple of days because of what's been going on. Because the connection Kale and I made and just the beautiful, beautiful end result. Oh man, I got shivers. I got shivers right now, guys. I ain't gonna lie. Kale was like my hero when it come to, because I wanted this done so bad and I wanted it done well. Because I put so much into that frickin' drawing. And he did it. He did it. And I'm gonna be releasing it, I think, later on tonight. And it's so freaking good, man. And I'm just so, and it's gonna look like he showed me, he gave me a couple of, like he laid it over some colors, like a really cool navy blue, and then he laid it over like a kind of an Indian red color, and that looked just sick, man. And so it shows you what, because he said, yeah, I can make it into a file where it's see-through or whatever, transparent, I guess it's called. But yeah, he did it all on an iPad, and he just freaking rocked it. And we've worked with people and stuff with logo making and stuff before, and Kale was like, as if somebody rolled upon and like was trained and stuff. He just rocked it, man. So I'm so excited. And Kale and Aubrey and everybody, if you guys are watching, I love you so much. And your help, Kale. Oh, you got Uncle All. Teared up here because it really, you really came through for Uncle. Karmic stuff is happening, guys. Karmic stuff is happening. So when you see that logo later, know that Kale, he sat there and he traced every line right delicately, and then we adjusted the line thickness and stuff. Like, he's just a magician. A magician. I hope they're watching. They said they were going to. How's everybody doing? So says everything is connected in in our universe. You're damn right, sister. Yep. It was crazy. Spike says it's fucking mint. Yep, Spike had a look. Tribe strong, says Tim. You betcha. And I'm going to blow Kale up. Like, he was like, yeah, well, he was just all like, meh, it's cool, you know. It's your brainchild. It's your drawing. I just colored it, you know. I just traced it. It's no biggie. And I'm just like, what? It's no biggie. You know, and it's done so much better than if you know, just asking the AI to do it. Because a couple people out there, thank God bless you, like Perry was going to give me a hand with maybe Chat GPT or something. And then Urban's Bakings was talking to a couple of people that he knew. But I didn't end up having to go there because my cousin, you know, swooped in and saved the frickin' day. And like, you know, like we jived so well. And he just like, you know, I'd be like, oh, okay, that looks awesome. But hey, can you do this and adjust this just a little bit? And he didn't, you know, there's no being offended or nothing or no ego. He's just like, your wish is my command. Bing, bing, bing. A little frickin' wizard, man. A little frickin' wizard. I love you, little buddy. Big fish. I used to call him little buddy, but he's big fish now, man. They're so awesome. Okay, well, Dad Carves is here. Can't wait to see. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you Urban's. It's so cool, man. And I love your goat. I'm a biggest fan of your goat. Your goat should go absolutely viral. Yo! So I hope I have mentioned everybody. I'm like talking here and like talking with I got eyes like my dog right now. So I'm watching this chat going. Trying to look at what I'm doing here too. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about what I'm going to do today here. I just wanted to make sure and mention Kale, man. You really helped old Uncle out. Okay. I've been looking at this thing and thinking about it. I will still do the crack with the bandage with the copper staples like we talked about. But I've been looking at this stuff here. And we got all this material in here. So what I'm thinking is using it more. Narrowing this one a bit. Bringing this down. And using more of this. The crack can go down here and then we'll have the staples. And then I'm thinking even maybe in here. Doing something with just to add a little bit more of the flamage. Like maybe I'll do one of these things here, but a small one, and make it so that there's like a couple, like a little lick of two of them, so I can come down in here a bit. And then also in here, I'm gonna get really, really deep. Like we want it to, we gotta utilize the shadow. And you see, I've been playing with it. I've been like a person stepping on the edge of a cliff, dipping his toe into the frickin' ocean, you see? And I still haven't went that deep. And I'm really fighting with that. I have to go in there. I have to chase it in. And you guys, I need you guys to believe in me. Because look at all that material, right? What do you guys have to say about that? Yeah, that gives it more depth. I really got to go in there. Everybody's still saying hello and stuff, okay? I'm just taking a peek. So I'm going to go in there today. I'm going to like get back into the Kutzall balls here. This one has really been handy. And then I have the more extreme one in this size too. But where is that now? Oh, here it is. Ding, 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 ding. This is coarse. This is extreme. And then... because I had a little weird gap out last time. I knew I had one in fine, and I do. Right there. See? You can tell by the teeth, right? Like, look at that. I'm doing this for in case... I'm hoping that there are people... There's also people watching that, you know, aren't subscribers and that have just tuned in. Because I would like to also, you know, always do a little bit of a teaching about the birds and stuff. So, yeah. I'm going to go and use those, chase this depth in more. because when I was waiting for you guys, I was getting antsy, and so I came out and pulled out this bad boy again, and that's the Kutzall, the ball head, cylinder ball head, I guess it's called, but it's in 1/4 inch, and that one, you know, that's why you can see some bad scratches right here. So I started going, because I'm ready to get in deep. I wanted to make this, you know, the deepest, you know, mask kind of carving thing like this that I've done yet. I want to go in the farthest. That's what I'm trying to say. All right? Does that sound like a good plan? Like as far as up here, utilizing that material, right? We don't want stumpy fire. We don't do stumpy fire around here. I don't want no frickin' stumpy fire. Go deep, says Amy Jo. Night Owl's here. Aiden. All the way from Ireland, folks. Deeper, deeper, yep, says Amy Jo. You know it, sister. So it does. This one looks, and it's like, I was like looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, it looks like a stumpy flame, but I'm thinking, why? Why let it? You know, I am the creator. Oh, also, before I get carving here, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but I have to do this. Please, anybody watching, you're going to see now all my links in the basement, right? You guys know that I got links in the basement now of my Kutzall link, that you can get all the amazing tools and burrs from Kutzall. Follow that link and you'll get a little discount at the end. But all my Amazon links, I need help right now, people. I need people to go to the Amazon link that's in the basement and buy something. And even if you just go in and then waddle off and buy a frickin', you know, whatever, it don't matter, because you still went in through the link, and then I don't know, I get a penny or something, but it don't matter. I don't care about the money. What it counts is the points right now, the points, because I have to make a certain amount of sales, and they have to see that it's a proper sale. Like, you can't ask your mom to go and buy 3 things because it could tell or something. They said, you know, like, it has to be people that'll come in and waddle in and buy something. But it'd be great if you'd buy one of the tools that I've linked here. And I have a lot of handy carving tools in there that we all, you know, have used. I tend to use things like the carbide balls a lot more than some people. The Dremel balls. But yes, great tools down below. And if you're watching and you're not a subscriber, that's the best. Them's the best points for me. Because I want to have an Amazon store. So you have to go through this part. I really need the help. You know, and if you do it, send me a message on the backside, and I'll hook you up somehow. Friends help each other. What do you guys say? Spike just put out Larry's Kutzall link. Thank you, Spike. But right now, what I really need help is with them Amazon ones, because yeah, my time's running out, and then they take that away. And I don't want that to happen to Wowie. I'm really trying on this frickin' stuff, guys. Come on. Jeez. Come on. Wowie. Okay. Now that I've said that, and like I'm so serious about that, I'm going to say it a couple of times today, guys. Because it has to happen. It has to happen. And what the dumb thing is to not say anything at all. And just, you know what, rely on fate. Hope that, you know, 3 people are going to come in from nowhere and just buy the 3 items that I need, and it's all said and done, daddy. Like, I'm just not going to, like, rely on freaking chance. Care about this whole endeavor. You know? This is really important to Two Brothers, One Vision. This whole channel, everything that's going on. And each and every one of you are very important to us, all right? Okay, I'm just checking for spiders, okay? Checking for spiders and getting ready to make some frickin' noise. What do you guys say? DUIT TUIT, hello! DUIT TUIT. Thank you for coming. And welcome. Welcome to Wowwy'z Workshop. We're just about to make some noise and make a little, we're gonna make a little sawdust, but thankfully, this bad boy's gonna suck that up. And if you can see over here that I got LaRue watching me, I can feel the eyes on me, LaRue, because he's got some mail, folks. He's got a little bit of mail time to share. A little tiny, a wee episode of Tribe Mail is coming up after we do some carving. I promise you, LaRue. I know, man. Here we go. done. Well now, that was a bit of a session there, wasn't it, guys? Bow! How we doing? We got the carving wizard Perry is here. From Trees to These is here. Hello, guys. Sorry for such a long break there. A long session, I should say. I just got, you know, I got all wrapped up in it, man. Kind of freaking out, man. No, I'm not freaking out. I'm bringing the vision out, and I'm bringing it forward, guys. A lot longer licks of fire now, isn't it? We got that crack that we're gonna, the crack that we're creating so that we can repair. If that makes any sense. Looking better, bro. Says, looks better, bro. Says so. Amy Joe says awesome. Spike says looks wicked. You know what I'm trying? I'm kind of, when I used to draw, guys. Well, I used to draw. But, sorry, hit the frickin' camera. I used to draw really, really dark things, right? I think probably my art teachers, who I always got along with, and it was actually art's the only thing that I finished fulfilled in high school, like all of the 10, 20, and 30. But anyways, I always liked to draw really, really dark things. Heavy Metal magazine was one of my favorite things. And it was funny because sometimes he'd give us assignments and I'd go home and I'd draw something from a Heavy Metal magazine as my assignment for high school art. And they were just like, whoa, dude. Doing good, Larry's. That's good, Perry. Thanks for coming, man. Wicked hairstyle, says Aiden. Thank you. Trying to get a little bit of fire. Bit of a fire feel to it, Aiden. And as you guys all know, well, I guess if people that are watching it don't know, we got some stuff going down up here, down here, I should say. I have to flatten that today, but yeah, anyways, that's what's happening down there, folks, in case you didn't know. But I used to draw really, really dark things. And I like to draw demons and skulls. Like, I like to draw skulls, but like what a skull of a demon would look like. Because number one, there's no rules. And number two, they just always look sick, right? And I was kind of, you know, I went through my phases. Oh, we're starting to get a bit better of a, yeah. But I was a heavy metal. I was a headbanger. Frickin'. Just the strongest rebel. I had this stupid look on my face. I was pissed off all the time. Had a mullet. You know. Hi, Jen. Is Jen here? Hello, Jen. Thanks for coming. Yo! Spike says I drew an 8-foot severed hand holding a bunch of eyeballs with all the nerves hanging down on my bedroom wall when I was 13. Well, there you are, brother. We're truly kindred souls, my brother. So yes, as I'm doing this, the whole reason why I'm blabbering on about my obsession with the dark side and the darkness when I was younger is because it's coming out as I'm carving, you know, going in deeper in here and just making it kind of gaunt looking. I really loved, I loved all heavy metal, right? But I loved Eddie from Iron Maiden, so I would draw him a lot. But I just like making my own. And of course, all my headbanger buddies, man, were just always like, yeah, man, that's the way, the darkness. But actually, you know, we were actually pretty happy-go-lucky headbangers. We just loved Metallica. Let me tell you, man, Metallica all the time. People are laughing, talking. I'm Gen X, so yeah, yep, you know what I'm talking about, Tim. Gen X, man, it's just how it was. So I'm looking, as I'm talking, I'm going to be like kind of sketching and screwing around here because I'm looking down. I'm looking at the skull, and right here, where I made this new lick, I might as well go in pretty good there. So I'm just going to make a point of that. And what I do if you ever see me and I'm drawing, I kind of have this thing where I'll draw in areas where I want to take away, And so when I start carving, I just go right for that spot. And when I've carved away the the pencil line, I've done my duty. But yeah, so yeah, I'm just looking now that I can like look. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be able to look through here and just see, you know, kind of like when you look at something, not upside down so much, but in a mirror. Does that make sense? Oh, hello, Matt. How you doing, sir? Thank you for coming by, sir. From Trees to These says, Metallica is my first show, 12 years old. Wicked! Wicked. I've never got to see them live, but let me say, many brain cells were lost with Metallica. Glorious Metallica in the background. Oh, yo. Don't know if we should talk about that. Allie might be watching. If you are, sweetheart, love ya. I haven't sworn. Well, have I sworn? I don't think I've sworn. 4 times over the years. Jeez. No, you know what? My big one was, like, I'm a musician, right? Well, I like to dabble in music. Let's just say that. First instrument was the drums. Then it was the acoustic guitar. Well, no, it was the first instrument, to be honest, is keyboard. My grandma's keyboard. But then the first thing I learned, like on my own, was the drums and then guitar. But so I was a bit of a snob when it came to concerts. Like, well, whatever. And also I was raised around musicians, so it wasn't really a big deal to me. And I'm not being snobby. Do you guys feel me when I say that? Like, I've never been starstruck, so I didn't go to many concerts. Like, it wasn't a big priority for me because I had music, you know, in our family and in myself. But the one time I went to a concert and was happy to pay was Pink Floyd and the Division Bell in Edmonton, Alberta. And that, my friends, was life-changing. I tell ya. Maybe those little mushrooms that we ate on the subway had something to do with it, but I tell you, that concert was freaking life-changing. DV, if you're out there, buddy, watching, I know you're not, but DV, me and DV went. He hooked me up with the tickets, and I paid for other things, subway ride. And we had an awesome time, man, and that freaking concert, it was just, you know, if you're going to have one concert that you actually really actually wanted to go to and spent the effort, that's got to be, you know, the granddaddy or one of them. Yeah, Pink Floyd are amazing, man. It was just, you know, I had to check myself many times to see if I peed my pants. I'm being serious. I don't know why, but it felt like that was what's happening, because you're just like freaking overjoyed. All right. So, yes, I'm just gonna. I don't know what to say. Don't know what to say here other than I'm just gonna keep chasing it in. I'm gonna utilize all that space. Jordy and I had a conversation. Not much lately because he's moving and he's just too busy. But last time we were talking, when he was watching me do all this babbling and shit, he was kind of watching in the background, and he messaged me and he said, "Do it, Dibs. I know you can make that thing pop off. You have the material. I know you can do it." And I was like, fucking rights I can. Fucking rights I will. So I'm just gonna keep chasing it, man. How long have we been going for? Oh, almost an hour. I'm just going to read a little bit here. From Trees to These says, I'm a drummer too. I'm actually I'd like to say I can play Metallica when, like, you can play Metallica in some songs without needing the double kick. And I can kind of play those songs. Like For Whom the Bell Tolls. I can play along to that, and fuck, man. Oh, sorry, I swore. But the rush you get from playing along to music like that is just phenomenal. Dark Side of the Moon, amazing. Says Spike. Amazing album. Jane says, Pink Floyd is from my age group. Laugh out loud. Doobie Brothers, lost the brain cells there. Right on, Jane. Right on. We all have. Hey, brain cells, they're made for losing. Okay? A couple of them. Life is frickin' school, you guys. I'm learning this so profoundly every day. And you know what? I watched this thing and it freed me in a way that, you know, our bodies are vessels, our souls are eternal, our souls are the energy that make consciousness, that make us each unique. And it's a beautiful, powerful, goddamn force, man. And it's part of God, okay? And our bodies are vessels, and we agree to come down. Like I've heard in my research that this earth and these lives here on earth are one of the hardest, but yet most glorious lessons to do as living on earth and living as a human. Because there's so much glory, and even if you do bang up your vessel, like I've done and so many of you, and sometimes every day we got to wake up and start gritting our teeth because we're in frickin' pain, man. But it doesn't take away from the beauty that surrounds us and everything that we can experience, guys. Do you feel me? We're all part of one. And our bodies are just as basic as that, as a vessel. A glorious, amazing miracle machine at that, but it's a vessel. So don't let it take away from the glory that surrounds you. Whew. Made in pain, guys. Fucking made in pain. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm liking it. I'm like, well, you know what? For a little break here before I do another session here, LaRue is staring at me. Come on up here, LaRue. Jeez. Number one, I'm sorry. Freaking Japanese antique radio. These things are like $400 to $500 on eBay right now, American. Well, maybe $300 to $400 American, but gotta treat LaRue with respect. Okay, can you guys see him? There he is. So LaRue has some mail. First one I'm gonna open So's first. This is from So, from Quebec, all the way from Quebec. So, sister So, Sophie. Don't want to show the address, but yes, I'm pretty sure the proper way is to say Rondeau. Sophie Rondeau. This one is for you, mon ami, my sweet friend. And thank you so much for sending. What I'm hoping so bad, I'm hoping is a sticker, but I don't know. I don't like to count my eggs. So let me have a little peek here. What's going on? Oh, I got a sticker. I think I got a sticker. Oh, jeebus. Oh, jeebus. Oh, and I got a little note. Okay. Before I reveal the grandness of the sticker inside, I'm going to read my little note. Hi, Larry. I'm sorry, but that's exactly how she talks to me. So that's how it's coming out of me. Here's my sticker. It may change a lot along the way, but it's a reflection of me. Thank you for all your help and endless support. Merci, Sophie. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Much love, sister. I love that, and I'm going to save that letter. I have a very special spot that I keep my letters from you guys, and I often look through them and read them again. And here it is. Oh, yes. There is Sister So's. Under the bark. I do not know how to say under the bark in French. It's like, sous l'écorce. Sous l'écorce. But it's sculpture and pyrography, wood carving and wood burning. I always have a hard time with pyrography. Oh man, wood burning. But that's awesome. It's a beautiful little sticker so that's going to be going on my poster of support. Someone's won some, but it's won some no more, because I have all of my beautiful tribe members that I love you guys, and that means a lot to me, so thank you. I'm going to put that in here, and then Peter Blair, he's a part of these different groups. He's got a lot of groups. I don't know how he does it, man. Just with Kindred Spirits, I put a lot into that, and just like he does with his groups, but I'm just saying, I don't know how you have, like, how many groups Pete has, and there's lots of art to be seen, right? And so I've noticed a fellow named Ryan, that posts really, really cool stickers. Well, all sorts of really, really cool art. His art is really, I think it's, it's up there. It's unique, and it's his own, and it's always characters that really resonate. I don't know if he's Gen X himself, but anyways, because I am a drummer, my back injury didn't take that away from me. Nothing will take that away from me. Well, first though, one of my very, very top favorite movies of all time, my favorite director, one of my top favorite directors is Terry Gilliam. And he did Time Bandits, he did Fear and Loathing, he did 12 Monkeys, he did Brazil, an amazing movie, Brazil. But Terry Gilliam, and then one of my very favorite movies, it's like you have favorite movies for phases of your life, right? Because my most top favorite movie is Star Wars. There's nothing that beats it, But then I had phases throughout my life. And Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is one of them phases, man. And it's always been, I would say, my top 3 favorite movies. Can you see it? So that's his drawing, Ryan's drawing. Can you see it all right? Pretty neat, eh? That's old Hunter S. Thompson. With the drug case. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And I just fucking love that. Sorry for swearing. So I got 2 of those. And that's going on the poster board because that's part of me, right? Oh, you saw that one. But this one, I thought was just so cool. Look at its animal. Drawn in Ryan's style. Isn't that cool? So I got those stickers, along with So's beautiful sticker. And those will be going up there. I grabbed the extra Fear and Loathing from my brother. I don't think he's watching now, but he was here. One of them's for you, bro. Love you. I love those, says Jane. Yeah, people, well, like, there wasn't even I couldn't even like go to a website. He just posts them on, it's like Ladner Art, like their local town, an art page, right? And he posts on the art page, and I follow that. Thank you, LaRue, for coming by with such awesome mail. Everybody, if you don't know, that's LaRue. Always a pleasure with LaRue. Yes. So I saw his stuff on the ladder thing, and I asked Pete, and of course Pete, he said, yeah, no, he doesn't have a website or nothing, but he does have stickers in a local store. And of course, he went and picked me up the ones that I wanted, because he's frickin' a very kind person. And thank you for doing that, sir. Okay, well, I think we're gonna go in deeper. I kind of chewed up, like, these eyes were, there was a point here where everything was sanded and stuff, eh? And it was pretty much like, like, I'll sand things to where it looks like it's done many times during a carving. And I don't know if that's because I'm plumb bat crap crazy, or if I think other people do that too, because you're chasing it in, right? Does Amy Jo gotta go? Much love, sister. Thank you for being here, and thank you for staying for so long. Much love. Matt Carves is still here. That's great. Suzanne is still here. So is here Larry Dale. Larry Dale? Prairie Larry. Is Aiden going? Thank you, Aiden. Thank you for coming, man. I appreciate it. I know it's late. I really appreciate you, sir. Until It's Gone says 12 Monkeys is a mad film. It is a wicked, brilliant film. Hello, Wheels. How you doing, sir? Thank you for coming. That completes the old mod squad. I think every one of them were here today. Wheels, Spike, Darren, Tim, Amy Jo is the mod squad. Mark, how you doing, man? Mark tries to carve. How you doing, sir? Good morning in the future of May 22nd. Glenn! Hello, Glenn! Glenn McKelvey. Suzanne is still here. Matt's here. Matt, you're doing wicked stuff. Suzanne, you're doing wicked stuff. Y'all are just such freaking amazing, amazing creators. I sure am inspired and in awe of all of you folks. Each and every one of you bring such an amazing magic to this world that this world really freaking needs right now, man. So as I'm going in here, I'm going to redefine this nice. I had these done all nice, right? And now I've went in there and chewed that up. So I'm going to like fix that up a little bit. And go in a bit deeper, because if I got the cheekbone to a certain point, the eye bone doesn't push out farther than the cheekbone. This eye side bone here goes in deeper than the cheekbone. So the fact that it's kind of the other way around right now is driving my freaking brain insane. So I gotta go in deeper with the eyes there, and then I just gotta get this stuff. I gotta get that deeper in there so that I got a little bit. Okay, I'll tell you. After I got injured, I couldn't barely even get out of bed in the beginning, right? So I went through this whole process where I had to get used to being by myself at home, not working anymore. And my wife continued to work, so I was just there by myself. And weird things started to happen as you like regain a way of life and stuff and a routine and shit. And one of those things was I started to do weird little routines, and I would count them. And I always do shit in odd numbers, okay? And so what happened, from whatever reason, from the injury, and some people say it's kind of like when you get really bad injuries and stuff and chronic pain stuff, you could have a form of PTSD, and certain things can happen in your brain. It can change you, right? Pain and all of that stuff can change the way your brain works. And so I kind of got a case of OCD, and I would start doing routines, and especially in showering and getting ready and stuff, I have them. But I have these things, and if I don't do it, I'm really, really troubled by it, and I don't feel right. And so that started happening. And so I have this like kind of OCD when it comes to my art. This is what I'm trying to babble out here about. I'm not being like, oh, poor me. I'm just trying to explain that I got this when it comes to my art. It transferred onto my art, right? And so not only am I very self-critical when it comes to stuff, but that OCD stuff kicks in, and I won't stop thinking about it. And it's something that I talked with Jordy, because he overprocesses things. So we've talked about that before, because he understands. But I'm sure his what he deals with is much more severe than mine. But at least we have an understanding in that way, and so he knows. But yeah, I'll get weird, man. I'll get weird, and we don't want that. It just fires up, kind of. I don't know what it is. Stress, I think, kind of makes it more. And then, if I'll start stressing if something that I'm creating ain't working out right, I'll lose sleep, man. Okay, isn't that a freaking happy story? My goodness. My goodness, kids. Spike says, no way, no way, me too. You have the... do you do the same things, Spike? It's weird, man. I never had it before, but and I'll like it'll be weird things like I have to do certain things in order in the shower or else it's all gone to hell. Very strange stuff. But yeah, maybe that's why I'll like chase something in and finish things like 5 times in the process of doing something and not just from beginning to end and get her done. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's just how it goes. But I'd like to think that by the time I get her to that end point, I got a pretty cool creation, even if it is come from the halls of madness. Yeah. We're all a little bit mad, but that's what makes us glorious, glorious individuals. Experiencing the school of life in our vessels. And you know what? That is why we have to work to help our brother Spike get his wheelchair. Because Spike's vessel is fucking dinged up bad and he needs to get back out there. Because here I am, I'll say, yeah, just don't worry about dinging up the vessel because we're going to roll into heaven on 3 wheels and with a muffler dragging, but that's all easy to say and stuff, but living with it is a lot different story, man, and I really want to get you there, Spike. Love to you, brother. From Trees and he says, we're all artists and all frickin' weird. Effing weird. He used the good word. And that's a good thing. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We are all. And then, you know what? The ones like our kindred spirits, like this tribe and you folks, like it's almost like a bunch of the glorious black sheep who don't give a fuck. We're going to do our thing. We all come together. And it makes, one hell of a posse. Let me tell you. I commend all of you folks. Wicked creators. So yeah. I will carve a little bit more if that's okay with you guys. Because we got to get this through. And I'm, as I'm looking at it and stuff, I've done some weird shit over here where I can't take it back. A couple dippy spots there, man. I'm just getting too excited and just going. But not keeping the symmetry in mind. Yeah, so I got to fix that up a little bit. But I did draw on there. So, I made it official. Nope, it was official. He drew on it. Drew on it right here. I saw him. And I'm going to, I'll put those in deeper again, nice. With, like I said, the smaller Kutzall ball in fine flavor. Shape that in there nice again. So those are all nice in Kentucky. And then we'll talk a little bit again. Thank you for all being here, man, and thanks for watching along, or if you're working and watching, like Josh Goulet might be, and, Mel, whoever's out there, much love to you. I hope you're doing well, and watch me carve for a little while. All right. Always put on your PPE, folks. I'm running a Dremel 3000 with a flex shaft on a King Canada dust collector with the Juanita Cyclone, 4-inch Cyclone on my left side. All right. Let's do it. Phew. Alrighty. Well, we've got her in. I'm chasing them in there. I'm starting to like that look now that I'm getting them farther in than the cheekbone. But is it deep enough? That is the question. And I'm gonna have to sand. You see, like how this is like here, and there's a bit of a cup there. I will want to sand that little cup so it's more of a flatter plane, is what I'm trying to say. But I carved the cup line in there so I knew the depth part. So I wanted to look like, okay, it wraps in there. It wraps around and goes in for a bit, right? So I'm trying to make that. And so I carved in the cup line there. And now I will sand, kind of like try and sand the cup line away. And what I'll be left with is that plane where it gradually goes down there. So that's what I'm doing there. There may be better ways of doing it. I'm sure there's times when some maybe like people that carve with knives and or gouges and might watch my shit and just go, what the frick is this kid thinking? Just the way I do stuff. But and then I started playing here because, but that's why I stopped. Is I was like, nope, you don't know where frickin' true middle is. Don't start putting those weird gum indents yet until you've looked at it with your laser. Because I get all excited and stuff because the camera's rolling, but if I put those gummy humps in the wrong spot, it'll take away my sleep for days. Woo! sir. Spikes. Heck yeah, Baron Boss Lady pops in. Heck yeah. How are you guys doing, man? We still have a couple viewers, eh? Hanging in there? Hanging in there for old Wowie. Thank you, Matt. I'm just looking back at Matt Carson. I've got to go, everyone. Larry looking awesome. I'm sorry for how long it takes me, guys, but this is how, hey, this is, I just, oh, and so took off. Bang, Suzanne Rhinestone had to go. Later, Glenn. 420 stacks. I don't know 220 stacks is. Hello. Well, sorry, I shouldn't have done this. Took away my screen. Okay. All right, I'll go back. I'll hit this thing. Yeah, I'm back to the bottom. Yeah, man. Okay. So we got a couple folks still hanging in. So thank you, and thank you for being here, each and every one of y'all. So yes, we're getting to the points where, how long have I been going for? Oh yeah, an hour and a half. That ain't too bad. Everybody's just saying hello. Very nice, very nice. Everybody's always being very cordial, I guess is the word. I don't think the mod squad's had to toss anybody out on their head yet. Not that I know of anyways, they'd probably tell me. So that's cool. I do watch these YouTube videos where they're like, well, you know, giving me tips on how to make my channel better and please this ever-hungry algorithm. I know, Jordy, the algorithm are the people. But I watch these videos and what was I going to say? I don't know. I forgot. I lost her. I lost her. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube on how to make your channel better. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. And oh yeah, now I know. Sorry, jeez, that was embarrassing. So I watch these videos and they're like, you know, do this and do that and do that and put your settings to this and that and you're gonna do better in YouTube land. And one of the things is your comment moderation. You can put your comments so that it has kind of a moderation on it, so that if anybody's using terrible words on you, it just takes it away. And then the thing said, like when it was telling you how to do all your settings and stuff, and that's what I was learning this stuff. And it said, if you feel brave, go and check that. You can go in there and click on the ones that the thing automatically took off. And it was like, but we warn you, if you're sensitive or whatever the case, don't do it. Because there are haters out there and they're in abundance. So I probably have a lot of things in there that I'm not ever going to check. So I don't need to. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. I know Wowwy'z an acquired taste. A little bit crazy. But hey, what's Wowie? Wowie. Wowwy's a good person, even if he is a little bit crazy. Wowie appreciates you for being here. So if you're going to be a subscriber and a supporter on YouTube, anybody, I think it's the people that really appreciate you and appreciate your time and support, you know? Because time is the most precious thing, you guys. Like I was talking about experiencing life and how it's, you know, our time and our experiences in this life are the most precious thing. No gold, no money, no nothing comes close to how precious our time is. So when people stand by you and support you, like so many of you guys do, it's something I have a hard time conveying my gratitude, but it's really something amazing, man. And I hope I do it back to you guys, because so many of you are creators as well. I really do try my best to to give it back to you in return, because you deserve it, and you guys are all making awesome stuff too. So I just wanted you to know that. Sorry to get all sappy on you. It's the truth, though. It's the freaking truth. Am I rocking the cast bar? That's why I'm holding it up in my arms, is because if I lean on it on this carving thing and sand, it could, you know, make you guys car sick. Whoa! Shouldn't have done that. Looking all right. I'm just taking a little peek here. We support each other, says Spike. Yes, we do, man. Yes, we do. And you're one heck of a good friend. All of you guys are, man. Not in here, bro. Just the mods have all got you back, brother. Terrible words like taxes. Yes. Yeah, taxes is one terrible frickin' word, Mark. You're right about that, brother. Kale Ranches is here from the Wizard. Everybody, please give love to Kale Ranches and subscribe to his channel. Kale is my cousin who did the amazing job that you guys are all going to see later on. Not in this live stream. There's no way I can show you. But Kale is the one that did our logo for us, guys. Digitized it and made it come to color life. Come to life through color. Haha, it's Kale, guys. How you doing, Big Fish? Thank you for popping in, man. I don't know if you've been watching. Well, you must be, because you know I called you the Wizard. And you are. You did an amazing job, man. So cool. Spike saw. Spike. There's Kale's. There's Kale's, guys. Kale, Spike is my trusted mod. And he just posted your link. Get you some subscribers, man, because I don't know exactly how many YouTube things you've got on, but my God, are you ever an amazing artist? And you got an amazing TikTok, and you have an amazing future ahead of you, sir. Because you did so good, and it ain't, you know, it ain't easy working with old Wowwy, because my brain is going. See, he'd show me something, and then I'd just be like, bang, 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 giving him encouragement, yes, but telling him what I have in my mind. And he just did it. He's just like a little wizard. Your wish is my command. Bing. He'd come back in like a couple minutes. It'd be done. And this is stuff I've been like laying here fretting over. How am I going to get this finished? How am I going to get this drawing to merch, you know? Ready for merch. And Kale was the guardian wizard. Yeah, that was awesome, man. It was so awesome how he came in and saved the day. Love you, bud. Yeah, well, I know you don't like skulls, Kale. Well, you didn't when you were younger. I remember that too. Because Katie brought some clothes for the girls, and there was a skull on it. And I saw you looking at it. And you didn't like that. So I don't know if you like this or not, bud, but I'm getting there. I'm slowly chasing it in here. I should have just went for the fences right off the bat, but you know, this is my first skull carving, so you know, when it's a first, you always, number one, want it to be perfect, but number two, you don't really know. And carving is weird, like when you're taking away the material. It's a weird process, especially when we're used to like drawing and sketching and, you know, putting material down to achieve something. Well, in carving, you're taking it away, and it's a real mind frick in the beginning. It's very odd, but once your brain does that weird click, and then you start seeing stuff in carving mode, and that's pretty neat, man. Because you start seeing things like Trent Humphreys, an amazing carver and artist, and a much better drawer than myself. And he has a drawing of David Lynch, and I look at that, man, and I think of, You know, if I had a 4-inch block, well, kind of like how this was, but I want to try carving his drawing of David Lynch. And whenever I see that drawing, I see it all in the levels, right? In the levels that you would break it down to achieve it. And that's what I'm blabbing about is all of a sudden when you start looking at things a certain way, your brain clicks, and then all of a sudden you see things in levels. And then once that happens, man, your whole carving, you know, career just takes off in a different direction. Love you too, Uncle. This is a cool carving. Cool. Well, thanks, man. Thank you. And it's gonna have this stuff. It's gonna have a big key here. Bing, with the big key in it. And then this one here, well, the escutcheon, the keyhole, is more for looks because I wanted a full back plate there, but I couldn't find a stumpy one. So we're kind of making it up with 2 bits. So when it's done, it'll have this locked mouth. And it's like dead men tell no tales kind of thing. You know? You catch my drift, catch my feels. The vibe is like, you know, there's like a brotherhood, or, you know, there's just a respect that people should abide by, and not frickin' be running your mouth when you shouldn't be running your mouth. That's the message. With the flames, because we're frickin' badasses, right? You. That's the whole message there. So thanks again, Kale. And when you guys, when I share it finally later, people, I want Kale to get that recognition, man. Because yes, I drew it, but bringing it into life with color is a whole other thing, man. And it's not easy. Like, Kale took his iPad. I took a picture of the drawing, and then he sat there with the iPad, and I sent it to him. So he has my drawing in his scope, and then he like took it and then like blew it up, and then took his stylo pen and hand drew every millimeter of that whole drawing. And when he did it in a way of blowing it up like that, he didn't make any mistakes. So he followed every line true and perfectly, and holy smokes. And then when it was come time to like add the colors, I shot him out the ideas, and he showed me like a couple of different options of green, a couple of different options of brown, and then he just went to her. And not only did he copy my lines, but then he did his own shading. He did his own kind of form of shading with the lines, and I wasn't expecting that. He just did a wicked job. You guys are gonna see it, man. Spike saw. Spike saw. It's wicked. And now I'm gonna do other, you know, I've got ideas for Two Brothers One Vision and Wowwy'z Workshop stuff that I would like to do for possible merch and stuff, and then also maybe down the line other things for Kindred Spirits. But yeah, you know, when you vibe with somebody in a collaboration, you know, it's like when Darren and I work together, I often say it's something I can't explain. And especially when it's a family member, you know? You vibe with a family member like that, and it's just so special. It's like, I don't know, it's something weird and primal, like, you know, your roots and your bloodline. You know, when you come with your kindred bloodline and connect and create something, there's something really special to it. And that's why, you know, that's what I talk about with Two Brothers One Vision, is the art that Darren and I create, is there's something that is so sacred and special about it. Is why I've never looked back, man. I've never lost hope, and I've never once stopped believing in Two Brothers One Vision, because it's the fire inside me, and it's the fire inside of Darren as one. And that's what happened with me and Kale. And we frickin' did one hell of a frickin' job, didn't we, bud?
And it's such a cool feeling to do that with another. And it doesn't have to be family either. It can be just another really, you know, a trusted artist. Or it could be an artist you don't know. I've seen people do that on YouTube where it's just different YouTube artists send each other. You know, so one guy starts it and then they send the piece each time to a different artist. And they do collaborations like that. That's pretty freaking cool. So I guess you don't have to necessarily know the person, but it's extra special when you do, and when it's your family, man. The wizard, the iPad wizard. Perry's the carving wizard, and Kale's the iPad wizard. Gonna have to think of a good wizard name for you, Kale. So we're getting there, folks. We are getting there. I'm starting to get more happy right now. Like when I'm touching it and shit here, you know, I'm measuring, and I can feel that there's way wonkiness going on, but that side thing is finally coming out for me. It's finally coming out. I don't know much more I'm going to do today. I could go in there and get that stuff deeper in there. How are you guys feeling? Who do we got in here still? Hello, Uncle. I'm reading back. It really does look amazing. You did a great job, dude. Says, oh yeah, okay. Kale made a little video of how the process went, and as soon as I do the reveal, we can share that. And it's neat, but I'm gonna forewarn you folks. If you watch our little video, there's flashes, okay? So maybe we should find some really cool techno to lay it to. 17 watching, 18 watching still? Yes, Kale, you did do an amazing job. And Kale says, thank you very much, Spike. It was fun. Looking good, Larry says, Mark, thank you, brother. I think we're getting there, eh? Like I don't have to OCD too bad over this. But yeah, sorry, I'm gonna finish my thought. When we release Kale's creation video, be forewarned that there's flashes because they're like, it's just the way it went because it's a time lapse. So be forewarned. But yeah, we should maybe lay that to some trippy techno music, Kale. Utilize the flashes. Have a little rave. But I can't thank you enough, bud. It's so cool. It just makes it like it was special. It would have been special if anybody colored it, but the fact that you did it, dude. You did it. And it's always going to be super special to me now. So sorry, folks, if I'm rocking the Casbah, like I said. I just can't stop. I can't fucking stop. I can't put it down. I can't do it, man. And I won't be able to stop until I shut her down and leave. Or so I'll keep touching it. Phew. As most of you guys know. Oh yeah. I sure see how much meat is still on that when I look at it from this way, but I'm not gonna get looking at it like that. I'm not gonna get looking at it like that. That'll freak me out. So what I'll do is just work a little bit more on the fire before we call this one a show. Alrighty? Bringing the dead to life. Looking good, Larry. Mark tries to carve again. I'm heading out. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Be well. Thank you, Jane, for coming. Very much, sister. And keep shining, man. You're an amazing, amazing artist. Okay, quick Spidey check. Here we go. Well, first I'm going to put on... What should I put on there? I'm going to put on... I got a Kutzall ball nose cylinder in coarse, okay? And then I'm going to use that to get in here and get in between those licks and get it really, really deep. Use the shape of the burr, right? And so I'll do that, and then I'll go from the Kutzall ball nose cylinder, 1/8, down. I'll taper it down, and I'll go to a Kutzall fine taper, 1/8, and then I'll do that, and get in there farther, where the ball nose can't get. Okay, that's the plan. This will be the last carving session for the day. So, here we do it. Got my glasses. Might as well load her up here while I'm... Stick that up there. Bada bing. Bada boom. Just like that, folks. And you are good to go.
I hope that wasn't too painful. How we guys? Seeing the depth, giving nice shadows now. Right on. Thank you, Wheels. I agree. We're getting in there, eh? I'm having a little wee look at the computer screen. So since we've chased that in, what you're not going to see is I'm going to go in. I'm going to sink those eye sockets at least an inch. I'm going to make those deep, deep and dark. You know? Because we've chased everything in, right? So those have to be addressed as well for everything to jive in the end. So I'm going to go in. I'll use this frickin' bad boy, this Kutzall Extreme bigger ball, and I'll make short work of that. I also want to say to the folks watching, I have a Kutzall link in the basement in my description. The Kutzall link is there that takes you straight to their site. You can find all of these burrs that I used today. But also something that I really got to ask of you folks. I have Amazon links down there. I need folks to buy a few things from that to help me out so I can one day get an Amazon store. If I don't get enough sales in the time allotted, they're going to take it away from me because I'm just an associate on probation right now. I'm not an influencer or anything like that. You have to go through steps. So I really need that. I need that support. And the tools that I've linked down there, my Amazon links, are the exact same ones that I've been using. And they're very, very useful, and I stand by them. Most of them are a Dremel. Because you can now, I used to have my Kutzall ones there too. But now all the Kutzalls, you go just straight to that website. Because you'll get a discount at checkout when you use my link. But yes, so if you need, you know, a new burr, like the 7144, for instance, the Dremel 7144 diamond burr, my favorite detailing burr, no matter what. Even though the Kutzalls came out with the new fine detail set, and that's this one here, that you can get now on the Kutzall. I just got this. They gave me a set for free for being an affiliate now. And I shout out to Kutzall. But even with that fine one in there that's kind of this shape, this is my detail, my go-to for my details. I just love it. And what I do is I'll cut in a line. I cut in a line with a carbide burr, a ball, and then I clean it with my Dremel 7144. And when you do it in that way, cut it first and then clean it, you end up with a V line, like a V tool would, if you're using hand tools. And so that's the little technique that I've come together with, that I use. And so I cut all my lines in mostly with this. Sometimes you can put this in your, I'll show you. Sometimes you can put your 714 or anything that's tapered, and you can carve in your main lines on the side like this. But that takes skill and getting used to. So if you really want to be precise, you can cut in your important lines with a carbide ball, and then follow it up and clean it up with your 7144. And I use that with in every carving. Damn it, I forget that one isn't magnetic. But yeah, I use those in every carving that I do. I stand by them. So, and it would really help out our channel. Because we're giving this, you know, we're not just pissing around. We're giving this a go, the whole package. And we're going to start doing videos. I'm going to start teaching you guys how to electroform copper. And that's coming. And I've been, you know, saving up money for the supply so I can do that. And yeah, we're really, you know, we're going to give this whole YouTube thing our all. So when I ask for help like that, guys, you know, it's warranted. Otherwise, I just try and do stuff on my own, you know. And that's how me and Darren are. We're like a family. Two Brothers, One Vision is a family affair, and we will get what we need, you know, together. But this is out of our hands. And they even say, you know, like, I'm an Amazon associate, but you can't just have your family come in and buy your things and go and say, okay, you've done it.
because they can tell. It has to be outside traffic, and I understand that. So I was trying to do it the easy way in the beginning, because I thought I was doing it right, and I wasn't. And I was just giving people links, saying here. And that's not how that works, I found out. Phew! That was a fun one, hey Pete? Mark Tries to Carve says, the eyes would look neat with abalone shell in them. That is a cool idea, dude. A really cool idea. See you all next week, Pete. Thanks for popping in and hanging out till the end. It's 4:03, so that means I broke 2 hours. That's always kind of like my goal. I know, and I know it's like, you know, leave them wanting more and that and this and that, but I like, if I can do a 2-hour live with y'all, that makes me really, really happy. And we did it. We're at 2:03. Woo-doo-doo-doo. So yeah, I'm excited about teaching you guys about electroforming, because it's a bit expensive to get set up, and like the paint, like I'm learning there's other ways around it, but to get the graphite paint from the lady that taught me the basics, you know, it's like $100, $125, you know, for a good jug of the paint, a can of the paint, not a jug. And that special paint is where the copper goes to in the whole process, right? And then you have to have this little, it's a power source. For me, it's just a power source, and I know how to set the amps and the volts. But you know, as far as the whole science of what's going on, I still don't know. I just learned the basics. I know what to do. I know how to set my amps, and I just do it. But it's a really interesting whole thing, and the stuff that you can make, guys, is just, it is so cool. So you use, like, you know, for instance, you know, like epoxy sculpt, and you could use epoxy sculpt on something like this, and then stick a, you know, a quartz crystal in the epoxy sculpt, and have a crystal coming out from the top. Then you paint all of that with the black graphite paint, and then you suspend that in the blue acid, and then you set everything up, and then you have to have a connection. There's the red one goes to the copper source, and the black one goes to the one that has the paint. And you also have in your thing of blue juice, you have, it's cathode and anode, or so you have you have to have copper to sacrifice. So you have your sacrifice copper in there we use wire in a swirl up the beaker, and at the top you clip it on there, and this is suspended in there. And when you turn it all on, the copper from your sacrifice piece dissolves in the acid, goes to where that black paint is, and as it goes over time, like some people just leave it for like 6 hours. We leave it for 24, 48 hours, man. You have to come in and like jiggle things and make sure that your one wire isn't fusing to it. So you kind of have to tend to it. But after like 24 hours, man, all of wherever that black paint was is now hard metal copper, and it's hard, and it is freaking awesome. And I'm going to teach you guys how to do it. Well, how we do it. Not the proper, I don't have all the proper words, and I don't know what all that acid is in there. I use a thing called brightener. I have no idea what that is, but I just know that it helps. But I'm going to teach you what we know. We're going to teach you what we know and how we do it. So I hope you guys are going to be excited for that. That'll be live, and then, you know, I'll make some videos and stuff, but those projects are always, you know, multi-steps, right? Because you got to, like, first make your thing that you're going to electroform, and that takes time and stuff. And so epoxy sculpt and getting things prepped can be one episode, and then the next can be getting it all and putting it in the juice and turning her on and cutting her loose. And yeah, I'm excited for that too. So, long story short, help us out. Buy a couple Amazon links down there in the basement so we can keep on rootin' tootin' and bringing on the show. All right. And with that, friends, we're at 2:07. I still have to walk my dog. Unless she's took a nice steamy dump on a nice floor, because that does happen sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I come in from my live all happy to a very, very terrible mess. But
hey, that's not her fault. That's not her fault. I've been out here for 2 hours and almost 10 minutes. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for being here once again, and all of my loyal, awesome subscribers, my family. You guys are Wowwy'z wonders, man. Thank you very much for being here again. And I hope you're liking what's happening. I hope you're liking what I'm putting down, you know. We finally got this side sucked in. You know, in the beginning it was like asymmetrical, and Mel mentioned how that was cool. But slowly, that's going away, and we're going to make it more symmetrical like that. That's more like what we're going to be. And I'm hoping by next time we can I'll have it ready to where we can put the mounting hardware on it. And just call it done, right? Because it's gone on long enough. So with that, there is no YouTube without you. Thank you very much for being here in another episode of WIP Wednesdays. Waka waka! Wowwy'z Workshop. Much love! Wowie out.